On this episode of the Best of Bias Podcast, you got your boy. We are back in the building, episode 228. I'm sorry, everybody. No excuses. You guys knew there was no pod last week. It's been a little pattern every other week for this season 3, but season 3 is going to get better, man. My consistency is going to get back on track. I promise you that we got a nice little episode for y'all today. I promise y'all I won't keep y'all here too long, but I got a lot of topics I think you guys are ready to hear. Some sports, pop culture, cinema corner, boom, boom, pap, pap. You know how it goes. So I'm real quick, real light for y'all, but it's the Best of Bias Podcast. Where that theme song is your favorite host, Lydell Dinero. No guest today, it's just me. But where that theme song at? Let's get right to it. And there's plenty of things to talk about. We don't need a bunch of guests. You got me, my pretty face, and y'all pretty faces. The family and new listeners, thanks for clicking play on this podcast. Like I like to say, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. No more long talking. Where that theme song at? It's right here. Let's get right to it. Bam, 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 bam.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lydell Dinero back here with another episode of the best podcast of the winter, best podcast of the summer, best podcast of the spring. Lighten up any headphones, any speakers you got right now, blaring through them, bringing positivity and good vibe. Happy holiday. Cheers to you and yours. We're getting close to this season. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's ready for some bias. I know it's been a while. Me traveling, man, I don't really take my equipment with me, so I don't really be traveling. But hopefully you guys have been keeping up with the Instagram, Best of Bias Instagram, my Instagram. I post little things there, little topics, that you can look forward to in the next couple of pods, or just look forward to talking about when we come back. Because, sometimes I'm not here. It's a one-man crew. This is different than a lot of other podcasts. I need to just pat myself on the back a little bit. I don't do it very often, but you see all your favorite podcasts out there got producers, six-man podcasts, co-hosts galore. You know what I mean? But I'm out here doing it solo dolo, trying to do the best I can to give my family, the Best of Bias members, the best podcast, give them all the news, information at all different types of life. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is you may be thinking about, talking about things you may be talking about, you never even thought we would maybe talk about. We could be talking about it here. So it's good that you tune in, pull up a seat, join the rest of the family, and just kick the shit with us. Because, there's a lot of shit to kick. The world is crazy right now. But firstly, I always like to check on everybody's mental health. Hope you guys are doing good today. Hopefully the week wasn't too crazy for you. I don't know what day you're listening to it. I don't even know what day I'm going to put this pod out. But again, one-man show equals a one-man schedule. And we be trying, bro. It's either going to be Friday or Saturday. I know that for sure. But either way, you're listening to it. I hope it puts a smile on your face and lets you, take a deep breath. Take off all that mental stress you may have had throughout the week. Kick your feet up, take your serious coat off, and just talk to your boy. We do have some somber topics in here sprinkled in a little bit. So, if you have some tissue, you might want to get some of those too. If you guys want to skip through some of the somber parts, feel free. I got to get back to timestamp and stuff for you guys. I'm getting a lot. I've been getting selfish a lot and not really taking time to timestamp the videos and let you guys know. But I see a lot of podcasts out there doing some tricky shit. You know what I'm saying? Putting timestamps in the actual pod so you can skip ahead on the pod and see where you're going in the actual podcast, not the videos, but the pods. There's one thing to do it for the YouTube videos, aka you've been setting us up for years, you know what I'm saying, holding us down. So I appreciate that. So no critiques there. We'll get bigger and better with the videos as you have more time. We already know how it goes. Actually, I say one-man show. Why would I say one-man show? AKA's been here the whole way. You know what I mean? That's very selfish of me. My bad, AKA. How you gonna let me just sit here and talk about it, take all the credit for everything when, of course, you've been here doing everything? You guys, I'm not gonna get sappy, but you guys know about AKA, you know what he does behind the scenes. But you saw the elevation from the garage to this, you know what I'm saying? And he's been an incremental part of that. And I thank him so much every day. Though he's not on the pod as much as he used to be, and there's a lot of times it's just me kind of kicking the shit by myself. You know what I'm saying? I thank you guys for keeping on coming back and keeping us motivated to keep bringing you guys everything we're gonna bring to you. And speaking of what we're gonna bring to you today, first I want to start off by sending prayers out to Randy Moss. a lot of these times I get into all these topics and these people are going through some stuff in the public, and I want to give my prayers out and send some of the wishes from the Best of Bias family out too. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to miss anything. So before I really get started, get on a roll with some of these rants I will get on a roll with eventually. Um, Randy Moss, man. Shouts out to him. This topic personally, I take really near and dear to my heart, man. Though it may be a different kind. I don't know exactly what cancer he got. He just beat his cancer. It was a secret battle. Some people saw him on TV. He was still trying to do his NFL Network gig while fighting the cancer. Noticed that his eyes were a little yellow. He didn't look the most healthy. After he got a whole bunch of comments on social media, which is kind of fucked up in a way that he kind of has to come out and talk about his kind of ailments publicly just because people are talking shit on social media. So he's kind of pressured to do so. But he was secretly battling cancer. But soon after, though, it seems like not even a week, maybe 2 weeks after he announced he was battling something, he announced that he was in remission and he beat cancer. God bless that. Bless him. Man, prayers out, claps, everything you can give, man. Praise the Lord above, whatever you believe in, because personally, I went through a battle with cancer myself, and I know I talk about it a lot, but it is an experience I feel like I do need to talk more about. I don't really mention it at all, and I don't know if I wouldn't say embarrassed about it because I like to see myself as a relatively healthy and strong individual. So sometimes talking about me at one of my lowest points in my life, man, I almost, passed away. Well, I wouldn't say that, my cancer was highly curable, but from cancer you can pass away. So having that kind of thought in my head at this young age of 33, I don't mind being vulnerable like that, which I'll tell y'all how old I am. I never thought about really thinking about my mortality this early in life. So, and just the chemotherapy treatments, just having the strength to wake up every day, knowing that I have an ailment, having hair fall out, not being able to eat, just throwing up, just headaches, man, month-long migraines. It was just a battle for me, and it's for like Randy Moss, somebody, our heroes, our gladiators, our athletes out there, professional athletes. We kind of see them as gladiators and see them as people that can't get hurt. They don't get sick like the regular people. They have so much money. They have shields against diseases and cancers that regular people can get. No, man, it can happen to anybody. You never know if it's your time. I'm not saying to pass away or anything, not to be that morbid, but just, to face something, you know what I mean? A guy, people always say God gives his, hardest struggles to his top, his strongest soldiers. And me personally, this year, or last year, I don't know exactly. I think it's November. It's been, in November was the year of my remission. So we can clap it up for that if you'd like, you know what I'm saying? Thank God for that. But man, it's been one of the hardest times in my life. Shout out to Amanda and Kyle for having me at your wedding. I know we definitely talked about this on the pod before, but I was struggling so hard to go and stand there and actually just be there. It was in the beginnings of my chemotherapy treatments, and I was able to stand there. It was a beautiful wedding. I love that I was able to be there for you guys and um, be at such a beautiful event. It was such a great time, man. Shed a bunch of tears there. Love everybody there. But it was tough, man. And just knowing Randy Moss, man, is being a celebrity. I know it's probably so hard to deal with those kind of things in the public because one, everybody sees you as this person who would never get sick, this embodiment of health in a way, since you have so much money, and to see you to be so vulnerable after being held to such a high regard. I can see why Randy Moss didn't really want to come out first and kind of let people know about his situation. I mean, and definitely has the right to. Nobody needs to know. I was kind of, again, bringing my situation back into it. I was kind of hesitant to tell anybody as well. I wanted to have my fight in secret, not have everybody kind of in my business and kind of like publicly being sympathetic because I feel like I'm a strong person that can fight through it. Randy Moss, man, I feel like he needs the public to know that they know what happens when you get older now. We don't expect everybody to be healthy and remain healthy for their whole lives. If you need help, I mean, I know we can't help Randy Moss, but public, you know knowing that we are with him and caring and just showing the support publicly instead of trying to ridicule somebody for having yellow eyes. It's just kind of like I'm happy that we were able to find out what was going on with Randy Moss. He was able to get healthy, and we're able to still give him his flowers while he's here. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, we lost a lot of people this year. Last couple of years, they weren't as lucky. You know what I'm saying? And we wait till they pass to give them their flowers. Um, and then it's also an opportunity for me to let you guys know, go get checked. Not as far as, just for cancer, just anything. Go to the doctor, make sure you stay in touch. People out here, the government, I wouldn't just say the government, but social media and society is feeding you information about all these new illnesses and all this new shit. You want to make sure you're healthy before anything comes out and people start getting sick with this new shit. You want to make sure you're up to date on your physicals, your checks, all that shit. Just make sure you're healthy because, again, people are dying, passing away young from illnesses they didn't even know they had. Little sicknesses turning into system failures. Not to scare anybody, again, not to be morbid hella early in the pod, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Stay healthy, eat healthy. I'm trying to get back on that shot myself, but I'm already thinking about after the pod how I'm about to get me a Biscoff milkshake. But I promise tomorrow, I'm gonna get back on the right track, man, because again, health is wealth, and I never thought in a million years I'd have to go through anything like this year. For me personally, I know Randy Moss didn't, and I know if anything was to happen to you, I know you wouldn't expect to either. So just stay healthy, stay prayed up, and let's get into a little bit more happy topics. You know what I'm saying? Well, I wouldn't say happy because God damn it, fantasy fucking football. Excuse my language to all the young ones listening, man, because I'm a little sad this year. You see that belt back there? I've been having it behind me this whole season, talking my shit, letting you guys know that you're going to have to take it from me. If you want it, you're going to have to take it. I'll pause. I lost, y'all. I lost in the semi-fucking finals. I'm taking it kind of hard. It's just fantasy football is one of the things I know that I'm very, very, very good at. I'm confident I'll stand 10 toes any day with anybody in any room and go toe to toe with the best fantasy football players in the world. I put that on. I would sign myself up for some shit like that. But this year, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. My team fell apart. I went a little off my draft plans and kind of picked some players based on availability. And they ended up getting hurt. Rashee Rice, getting hurt kind of threw a damper in my plans. I would have had Nico Collins, CeeDee Lamb, and Rashee Rice. Kyler Murray and Justin Herbert, their performances weren't as solid as I expected them to be this year. It kind of fucked me up. Them both being wishy-washy in situations where they should be really good, it kind of threw the team off. And I wasn't really expecting their performances. I didn't really expect it to be Jalen Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff. These guys to be the guys that light it up every week. We know the Josh Allens of the world, you know, Lamar Jackson, they're gonna get you some points, but man, I just kind of figured that Kyler Murray and Justin Herbert were the go-tos this year. Didn't really work out for me. My running back room didn't stack up to be the way I wanted it to be. I forgot who I took for my starting running back. I had two running backs. I had Rachaad White, of course, I took early. And it didn't turn out to be the worst pick because the Buccaneers, sorry, I'm kind of checking the script from the Nuggets play right now, so I'm getting a little distracted. But the Buccaneers, we look good as far as running the ball. We didn't really expect that. Last couple of years, we were down bad. But the emergence of Bucky Irving, I should have known him coming in. He's going to be great. He was great at Oregon. I was talking that shit all season, but I didn't really expect it to come at the expense of Rachaad White after I picked him like third round in fantasy. I did have Bucky Irving. But when I had running backs like Javonte Williams and Tyrone Tracy and other guys that just get hurt and just aren't able to play, it kind of just sucks. And next year I just know for a fact that I will rather pick good running backs than good receivers because if anything happens to these receivers, I mean, it's same for the running backs. I feel like the running back well dries up a lot faster than the receiver well. So the top tier talent for the running backs is way more valuable than the top tier talent of the receivers. And yeah, I just have to kind of realize that next year when kind of selecting who I think I'm going to select. It was a good strategy. I'm talking like I didn't even make the top three. Yeah, I made the top four, but let me just get into the scores and let you know how I did. So I lost in the semifinals 130 to 123. Again, a piss poor performance by Kyler Murray only getting me 10 points and Tyrone Chase only giving me 4 points. Just fucked up my whole scoring situation. Um, I should have been winning the game by a lot more. But by the time the game was done, on Sunday, all the games were done. I was up by 29 and I had Denver or Minnesota's defense, but he had Minnesota's Justin Jefferson, had Drake London, DeAndre Swift, and I think that was it. All to play against my one defense. So I was holding on for dear life, but ultimately I ended up losing, not able to make it to the championship game and go back to back. Shouts out Drake won. I think he beat me 3 times, so I think it was 2 times this season. I wanted to get my revenge from the last time I played you and you smacked me, but I was trying to come back and hand you a victory and send you to the third place game, but I didn't end up winning. I lost again, 130 to 123. Armpit won 145 over Hot Boys 130. So again, it'll be the 1 and 2 seeds facing against each other in the playoffs or in the championship. The teams have been 1 and 2 pretty much all season. So, I mean, I guess, the standings were true to form, having them play each other in the championship, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm playing Hot Boys, CD's Hands versus Hot Boys for the third place game. Third place gets their money back. Second place gets $200 and first place gets $900. So it'll be Armpit versus Drake 1 for the 900, and whoever loses get their money back plus another 100. It should be a great championship, man. Been a great season so far. Damon and Derek's Jet Skis, and with myself, Sean and Damon try to bench all their players for the 12th place game so they can tie and nobody gets the 12th place trophy. But don't worry, don't worry. Based on point system, Derek's Jet Skis, Sean, you got last place 2 years in a row. So I have a trophy extra special for you at the ceremony. And then Damon, I will give you a runner up to last place trophy. Just an extra special participation for last place, just for trying to pull some fast ones. I can always count on you. You know what I mean? So I have something special for you as well. Do not worry. But last place, Derek's Jet Skis held it down. Good shit, man. Just like we weren't winning riding no jet skis, you was not getting out of last place this year. But thank you for playing. And then I'll come back to you guys next year. Again, I think I'm gonna do Instagram Live to present the awards for first, second, and third place and last place, just so I can announce that and let the people know on Instagram and just give some public credit. You know what I'm saying? Because when we went into this, I wanted the people to know that I possibly, we're going to keep them updated. And based on people that dropped out, if the listeners want to hop in the league for next year, they can also do so. So stay tuned. Again, it's the Best of Bias Invitational Fantasy Football League 2024. And the homies, we did our thing this year. Maybe we can get the winner to at least get on to talk about it for a little bit. Maybe I'll record a phone call of ours and just put the excerpt in the pod, because I'm getting somebody from the goddamn fantasy league on this goddamn pod some way. That's not John. I mean, John, you know what I'm saying? You're part of the pod family, you're part of our real family, honestly. But you know what I'm saying? They want to hear from somebody else. Damo, he don't want to talk about it because he got 11th place, you know what I'm saying? Nowhere near top. So he ain't gonna want to talk about it. Sean, I know he ain't gonna want to talk about last place. So Derek, he's never been on the pod. I think he's a little camera shy. So we'll see what happens when it comes to the awards. We'll see if we can connect somebody maybe on Instagram Live so you can see if they can accept the award, you know what I'm saying, live for y'all. So maybe we'll do some shit like that. NFL wise, last week I didn't predict anything, but hopefully the week before I was able to win y'all some money because I love y'all and always trying to win y'all some money, especially in the holiday season. If you spending a little bit to try to win a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just use my predictions to give you some advice and maybe you can win some more money. Again, it's just advice, you know what I'm saying? But I'm always saying if you want to give back for me helping you win, Snapchat or the Cash App is right there. But if you guys lose, I do apologize. This is just advice. This is not something that you should run and bet your house on or nothing like that. This is just what I would do. And a lot of the times, just kind of like listen to these predictions that I be giving and take them at your own risk. Because a lot of times, especially when it comes to these NFC South teams, I'm gonna be hella biased, and I'm never gonna pick an NFC South team to win. So. If it's not the Buccaneers, of course. You already know I rock. But we'll be right back. By the way, y'all like the shirt? Let me move this out of the way. Well, I can't move that out of the way without making hella noise. But the Gambit shirt, you feel me? It's just tight. You know what I'm saying? You go hard with these shorts. You can't see the shorts right now, but Yeah, see, you know what I'm saying? You know, stay a little fitted for the people, you know what I'm saying? Gotta stay rocking with the pop culture. You already know what it is. Light up in there. How y'all like my Zorro poster? I don't know if I ever showed you guys that. I think I did show you it, but how y'all like it? Y'all watch One Piece? Y'all watch anime right now? I was gonna wait till later to talk about anime, but let's talk about it now. Dan to Dan on Netflix. Are you guys watching that shit? 12 episodes out right now. Just ended, you know what I'm saying? One of the best animes of, I would say, I guess it was the summer, right? No, summer? No, it's January. What the fuck? Of the fall. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, check it out. Crunchyroll or on Netflix. I don't know how many anime heads we have in here, but you know, by looking at my background, I fucks with the anime heavy, and I really was incorporating anime into the pot a lot more when AKA was on a lot more regularly. But it's like best of bias. You know what I'm saying? Seasonally, I be moving a lot of topics around, but I always need to find myself back here at the anime topics because it's really a space that I'm in that I don't know if a lot of people, you know, occupy, but it is up and coming. You know what I'm saying? Shout out RDC World One. I will be at DreamCon. Everything that they represent, man, is really inspirational. I talked about this before, really inspirational to what the pod represents. You know what I'm saying? Spaces that maybe not everybody in my culture really visit. I'm here to mix it all together so everybody can have fun. Everybody can be relatable. Everybody has something to talk about. You like sports, you like gaming, you like anime, you like superheroes, comics, any of that shit. Cooking, baking. What else is there? Combat sports. You know what I'm saying? I talk about a lot of the shit. You guys know what I talk about. If you hear, you know what I talk about. You know how I get down. And anime is one of the things that I'm really, really interested in. Dan to Dan, one of the newest animes that I watch. Again, I told you guys before, it's really weird, but if you're in the anime, it's gonna be up your alley no matter what. Because anime, the way it's so many anime out there, the way they differentiate themselves is with the storyline, is with the cast, is with the characters. And it's hard out there to, you know, come out with the new anime that takes everybody because everybody has their hardcore favorites. You have the One Pieces of the world, Dragon Ball Z's, Naruto's, name them, freaking Seven Deadly Sins, Jujutsu Kaisen, Full Metal Alchemist. What else we got up there? Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan. Name an anime. I bet you there's 50 million people out there that can go on and on telling you how dope the anime is. You know what I mean? So having new anime come out the way that Netflix actually does and have people get gripped and just in tune and fall in love with like that, it's impressive. It's impressive. And it was a anime that dropped weekly. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these animes, especially on Netflix, they drop everything at the same time. You got to have big balls, no pun intended, and pause. Hey, I'm barring up out here. To drop something weekly, especially an anime on Netflix, and you know, get people to come back every week and still pay attention. It did that. It did that. If you're looking for a new one to watch, I would watch that for sure. Me personally, I'm trying to catch up on everything that everybody talks about. I kind of am a person that kind of feels left out if I don't be finding shit to watch. So Fire Force, I just started. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool starting Fire Force. I didn't get as far as Attack on Titan. Everybody else got. Of course, everybody is talking about it's the, you know, Apex anime of all time. So I need to get into that. I didn't get out of season one, so I need to check that out. Watch some more of that shit. I'm watching Dragon Ball Super right now, watching Dragon Ball Daima right now, and you know these animes. I mean, they're not all as long as fucking One Piece, like thousands of episodes, but it's hard to watch one all the way through when there's so many that you need to catch up on. There's so many that I want to catch up on. It's getting pretty tough, but Dan to Dan, check it out. And one of the best fucking theme songs that of animes ever created, in my opinion. It's tops, 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 tops. You know what I'm saying? So check it out. That wasn't even my anime segment. I just kind of started it there because, you know, I was talking about it in the moment. But anyways, NFL Week 16. Let's get into some predictions, some previews. The Chargers and the Broncos are actually playing right now. I believe the Chargers are winning the battle of the Oregon quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? But of course, I'm going for Herbert in this shit. You feel me? Um, Hopefully Chargers can get the win. I'm sorry we had to do y'all like that last week. The Buccaneers whooped on whooped on the Chargers. I think it was 43 to 17, 40 to 17, some shit like that. Yeah. We did it to them, bro. I didn't mean to do y'all like that. Hurt Herbert a little bit, but this week, they are playing the Broncos. Broncos are shit doing their shit. And bro, Bo Nix first year, the defense is, man. is good because last week Bo Nix threw like 3 interceptions, kept him in the game against the Colts. I guess Anthony Richardson was just worse than Bo Nix was last week and threw pick six and all kinds of shit. But they were able to win last week, and they actually I think they're 9-5 right now, so I think they're in the playoffs regardless. The AFC playoff hunt is crazy. I think the next team out of the wild card is like 6-11, and the last wild card team I think is the Chargers, and they're 8-5. So I think they're good regardless. But I think the Chargers, I'm always gonna pick the Chargers to beat anybody pretty much if it's not the Buccaneers, just because Justin's the quarterback. But Bo Nix being, Bo Nix being, you guys know the story about Bo Nix, but I'm just gonna leave that alone. So Thursday game, I got the Chargers winning. If they end up winning, it don't really count because they're already playing. Sunday games, we got the Texans at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 3. I got the Texans winning that game in an upset. I just feel like the Chiefs are winning by a whole bunch of close single score games. And once they start playing harder teams, I think once, we saw it happen when they played the Bills. They took advantage of, you know, the Chiefs not able to score points and them playing sloppy and just keeping games close. The Bills were able to put their foot on their necks and just kind of stomp out the fire that is the Chiefs. So I think the Texans can do that. Offense is getting healthy. No Stephon Diggs, but I think they have what it takes to beat them, if not in a close game, put up some points against the Chiefs. I know the Chiefs defense is supposed to be one of the best in the league, but you see what the Chargers defense is supposed to be #1 in the league, not letting nobody score points, but we did that to them. So I think there's always a chance. And getting towards the end of the year, they already clinched, I think they may let their guard down a little bit. I mean, I know they are trying to secure that #1 seed and Bills are creeping up on them, but I think Texans can win this game. Steelers at Ravens. Ravens favorite at home by 6. I got the Ravens in that game. Browns at Bengals. Bengals favored by 7.5 at home. I got the Bengals at home. Cardinals at the Panthers. I got the Cardinals by 4.5. That's what they're favored by. So I'm gonna take it. Eagles at Commanders. Eagles favored by 3.5. I got that. Giants at the Falcons. Of course, I'm not picking the Falcons. Michael Penix is starting with Kirk Cousins actually getting the benching. I think he had 1 touchdown and 8 interceptions in 5 games, which is terrible. He should have been benched a long time ago. But Michael Penix is back in my life to trying to ruin the Buccaneers playoff hopes. So great. We'll see how that works. But I got the Giants winning that game. Falcons are favored by 8.5 at home. That's crazy, but I still got the Giants. Rams are at the Jets, favored by 3.5. I got the Rams. Colts are at home against the Titans. I got the Colts against the Titans by 3.5. Buccaneers are in Dallas, favored by 4. I got the Buccaneers. I think we'll use our running game to beat up the Cowboys, and I think Trayvon Diggs hurt his knee as well, so he's out for the season. So I think Mike is going to be able to eat. And he needs about 300 yards to get that 11th 1,000-yard season in a row. So Baker's probably going to be forcing it to him. So I think we will get that game, get that one, and further our lead against the Falcons in that race for the NFC South champion or title to make the playoffs. My bad. Damn, stop. Vikings at home, or no, Vikings in Seattle against the Seahawks, fair by 3.5. I got the Vikings in that game. 49ers at the Dolphins. Dolphins are favored by 1. I got the Dolphins in that game. Jags at the Raiders. Ooh, I got the Jags at that in that game against the Raiders. I don't know if I really want that, but I got the Jags in an upset. Pats at the Bills. Bills favored by 14 points. God damn. I got the Bills in that game, of course. And to recap those games, I got the Chargers over the Broncos, Texans over the Chiefs, Ravens over the Steelers, Bengals over the Browns, Cardinals over the Panthers, Eagles over the Commanders, Giants over the Falcons, Rams over the Jets, Colts over the Titans, Buccaneers over the Cowboys, Vikings over the Seahawks, and Dolphins over the 49ers. Jaguars over the Raiders, and I have the Bills over the Pats. Oops, almost forgot the Monday night game. It's the Packers versus the Saints, and the Packers are favored by 14.5. God damn, in Green Bay. So I do got the Packers in that game because I'm never picking the Saints. So fuck that. But yeah, that ends those games. I got the Packers. So again, use that for advice. Don't take it to the bank. Well, you can take it to the bank, but if you take it to the bank and make that bank, send it to my bank if you want. So just a little bit. I don't need it all, just a little bit. But if you do lose, hey, again, Gamble responsibly. Moving on to NCAA sports. I know you guys seen that bracket, the final bracket for the NCAA college football playoff. Just to make a long story short, everybody's making noise about Oregon's path because we're the number one seed. We have the toughest path. We shouldn't have the toughest path. Yada yada yada. Me, I don't care. I just don't feel like nobody really takes us seriously, anyways. No matter how good we recruit, no matter how good we play, no matter who we play, no matter what we score against the teams we play, we don't have a national championship, so nobody cares. So I don't care if our path is the hardest. It's going to be Tennessee. If it's going to be Ohio State, then is it going to be Texas? Is it going to be Arizona State? Is it going to be what? Georgia, and then whoever. I don't care who it's going to be. We just got to play better than whoever's on the field against us. Let everybody else complain about the seeding. Let everybody else that didn't get in complain about it. We're the number one seed. We're undefeated. We're getting a bunch of recruits, transfer portals, people that want to play for us. You know what I'm saying? We up right now, and we're not going to let nothing take us down. You know what I'm saying? Big Ten don't want us there. We came in and took over their trap first year. First year of the 12-team playoffs, they want to give us a bad seeding because they want the SEC or one of the stalwarts from the Big Ten to go and win it. I get it. I get it. You guys don't want the Ducks to be up. You guys don't want us to win. You guys don't want to see our faces. You don't want the West Coast to be up. You don't want nobody from the West Coast to win if it ain't USC or UCLA. I get it. Last year when Washington was in it, y'all didn't take them seriously either. I mean, you took Michael Penix way more seriously than you took Dylan Gabriel. I don't know why. Nobody's talking about Dylan Gabriel getting drafted into the NFL. All you talk about is Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward. But who is the undefeated team putting up stats that rival the best quarterback y'all think is the best? That won more games, has more experience. I get it. Sometimes when a player has a lot of experience and been playing 6 years, you're like, oh, this player is old. But I don't think in the NFL that really fucking matters, to be 100% honest. They may act like it does, but a lot of players aren't playing to their 65 anyways. If a player is 24 years old, coming to try to be a quarterback and take your team to the promised land, I think you can get a good 10 years out of them. How many years do you expect them to play? 20 years? Like that shit is getting old. You see what Bo Nix is doing right now. He's not a perfect quarterback, but he's doing all right in his rookie year. He's only going to go up from there. Why would you want a quarterback that has never really had? I mean, 3 years is going to be a good taste of the college experience. But if you have a player that played for 6 years, you played top tier college football, had experience, more experience, and now if you complete the NFL national championship, that's the most experience at the highest level. You're good under pressure. I don't know. It's just been a shit show this year. A lot of the awards and a lot of attention got given to players I don't think necessarily should be given the attention. I know it sounds kind of like Travis Hunter hate, but I mean, Travis Hunter is a great player. Don't get me wrong. And congratulations on winning the Heisman. I really personally think Genty should have won the Heisman. Again, I played running back in high school, so I'm gonna have a soft side for running backs. Pause. No matter what, anyways, I think some of the shit that he was doing is just a lot crazier than what Travis Hunter was doing. Again, being a corner and a receiver, being top tier on both sides is amazing. Playing every snap in itself is crazy amazing to me. To be able to have the stamina and the endurance to do so, that's a skill in itself. That just shows, just imagine if you spent all the time focusing on the craft and playing one side of the ball. That's a top tier athlete. You're already conditioned to play both sides. Imagine playing one side. I just feel like he can be a generational corner. I don't know if it'll be the same thing at receiver. But I think a lot of his skills and his ability to do that kind of overshadowed a lot of good players in the NCAA this year that were actually doing big things. I didn't really hear much about the top corner in the nation. Well, he won the best defensive player in the nation, so I guess it was Travis Hunter. But the second best, you didn't really hear about that much. I mean, you knew about him, like the safeties and corners of the Ohio States, Michigans, Texas of the world, but you didn't hear as much as you did about Travis Hunter. Receiver wise, there's receivers out there. I mean, Tez Johnson got hurt, but I know there was better receivers than Travis Hunter in the NCAA. Nick Nash from San Jose State, triple crown, had the best, most receiving yards, most catches, and the most touchdowns out of receivers in the NCAA, and didn't even get the consideration just because everybody felt like what Travis Hunter was doing was so superb from week to week. Not saying that Nick Nash doing that in the Mountain West was better than Shedeur and Travis doing what they were doing in the Big 12, but I just feel like how he got it wasn't necessarily in the game plan. You know what I'm saying? They would force feed him the ball just to get those stats up. You know what I mean? When I feel like Nick Nash and Austin Genty, I mean, sometimes I feel like you could be giving Austin Genty way too many carries, and he could be like kind of getting force fed the ball to get his stats up. But when you have 25 carries, 220 something yards, 3 touchdowns and shit like that, it's kind of like, why wouldn't you give him the ball type shit? And it's a Mountain West team. It's Boise State. He actually got them into the playoffs. The only team they lost to was Oregon, the number one team in the country. You know what I'm saying? I don't think CU was anywhere close to winning. Actually, they were close to winning their conference. I won't hate like that, but at the same time, it's a little different. I mean, you know what I'm saying, again, I really respect the talent that Travis Hunter is. I do respect everything that he's doing. I wish him the best in the NFL. I hope it definitely translates. I don't know if I don't know if he needs to play both sides of the ball. I did hear what Michael Irving was saying. You should do that to get that Shohei money, play both sides and say that nobody can do this like I can, that so you should pay me accordingly type shit. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like this year didn't. I mean, I guess it's not their job to tell me about all the players in the NCAA, but I feel like a lot of attention were put towards only certain players. Now in the draft or in the combine, we're gonna have to be doing a lot of our own research. I think a lot of the time, we're supposed to be able to know a lot of the players that are coming out and should know the players to expect and know the players that are could possibly be coming to our teams and stuff like that. But I feel like this season, the only couple players that were really put into focus that I really remember being put in the super forefront, being publicized, Travis Hunter, Sador, um, Cam Ward, Austin Genty, and all these people. I mean, they are the top positions, quarterbacks, and I mean, running back. I guess isn't really a top position to like draft in the draft, but I don't really think I know anything about the top offensive tackle. I don't know anything about the top defensive end in college football this year. I may have heard the name here or there, but I don't think the profile is strong and stats are as notoriety and as what's the word, as recognized as Travis Scott, Sidor, like, and I kind of feel like that's at a disadvantage for us this year. But again, back to the tournament. I hope Oregon wipes the floor with everybody. It shows everybody we belong and that the path doesn't matter. We're going to win regardless, man. College football is in a crazy state right now with NIL and transfer portal and pay for play and all that kind of shit. All these NFL players coming to be coaches. Bill Belichick, the coach of North Carolina now. Michael Vick getting hired at Norfolk State. I think that's in Virginia, his hometown state, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, I could be wrong, but Ray Lewis trying to coach, and it's just really cool to see everybody trying to have that Dion effect in the NCAA, and just having more powerhouses and being able to get NIL money to back these celebrity coaches, and just have their schools and their alma maters be good, and just have the playoff eventually just expand to more, to just to get bigger and better. But first and foremost, I want Oregon to get their first national championship and continue to recruit crazy, just so everybody can shut the fuck up and just give us our respect. I know Oregon fans out there are ready for that. Everybody talking all that shit, talking about, oh, your uniforms are cool, or you can recruit, but how many national titles you got? I cannot wait, whether it be this year, next year. I know Dan Lanning is taking us to the promised land, and I cannot wait to hoist that trophy and put it in motherfuckers' faces for real. But also I can't pass the topic of Travis Hunter without talking about his girlfriend. I know we shouldn't be talking about people's loved ones, because I would not love it if people came on any podcast talking foul about V-Rons or anything like that, any of my family members or my loved ones or anything like that. So I will speak with this topic with grace, but me personally, I don't know. I'm just happy that I'm not dating right now because, and I'm also, I mean, I'm a millennial, so whatever these under the millennial people are called, Gen X, Gen Zs, or alphas or whatever, I just don't know if I would know anything about the temperament or the mentality of these younger kids because, yeah, coming up, everybody knew these NFL players when they had their significant others on the side, not on the side necessarily, but on their side during everything that's happening from the college come up to the NFL getting drafted to getting the awards in the NFL. There's just I don't want to make it sound bad, but just not a courtesy, just a way to act. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that she should be acting a certain way because she's a woman and she's his wife or girlfriend, fiance. She should be away, but there's a certain way to act in public, especially to give grace to the person you're with, especially if they're at the pinnacle of their profession and if they're at the top getting awards and in situations where you're supposed to, you know, the optics are on him and you at all times. You're supposed to just be looking a little bit more encouraging and grateful to be there. See, that's even wrong because if they were together in high school before he got super famous like he is now, even though he was probably always that guy just because of how good he was at sports, this topic is just weird. Should I do dual cameras for this? Should I do dual topics for this? I should do dual topics. Dual cameras, man, dual cameras. I haven't talked to y'all for a while on the dual cameras, but man, Travis Hunter's girlfriend. It's kind of sad that we even address her as Travis Hunter's girlfriend. We should know her name by now and be calling her by her name, but that alone, I feel like is kind of disrespectful. But I am kind of in the middle with this. I'm not sure if we should be mad at her or we should be trying to help her. I don't know if it's Travis Hunter's business because he knows what he's going to do in the future. I don't know if we should tread lightly because we're talking about somebody's loved one. I just don't know how to attack it. But I know one thing. I do know one thing. She should be way more aware of how she looks when the cameras are on. We be looking at her when Travis is winning awards, when he is giving speeches, when he is being presented things, when he's being adulated. Why are you mad while everybody else is adoring your man? I understand being upset behind the scenes, but at his top moments, you just always seem. I don't want to be talking directly to you. I'm talking to my camera A right here. Um, I just think I don't want to be the guy that say smile a little bit, but you kind of have to. You kind of have to. I don't want to be that guy right now, but just for his peace of mind and your peace of minds together, if you want to stay together, you kind of have to look like you're happy because you're getting pressed right now by everybody from left, right, center. I'm not the biggest media outlet in the world, but when you got me talking about your relationship, I think there's a problem. You know what I mean? And the new age kids nowadays, they gonna take a negative and spin it into a positive the best way they can. But us savvy veterans of social media, we can smell a good spin when you're trying to spin, and the spin don't smell spinnable, spin heart, if you know what I'm saying. You know, she's talking about, oh yeah, I would have never gave him a chance back in the day, but he was special. He's not my type at all, but he won me over. He'll wait at home or wait outside parties while I party. That don't mix well with you looking angry at him every time he does something great. Every time he's being appreciated for an accomplishment that he's getting, you look sour in the face like you just drank some bitter lemonade. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not gonna call you out your name because I don't know you, and I would never take this platform and take an opportunity to bash on somebody's girlfriend just for clout. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. But please, just please, for the betterment of your relationship, your mental health, Travis Hunter's career, just consider just being a little bit happier for him externally. Is that the nicest way to say it? Just externally show your happiness for him, even if you don't like him. If you guys are having trouble behind closed doors and it's not going the way you thought it was going to go, I get it, but don't give him room to do it. Stay solid. You're almost there. You're almost to the draft. The ring's there, even though you have a dollar sign on the ring finger where the ring's going to go. And they're bringing up OnlyFans page. I'm not going to do you like that. I love love, and I want y'all to love each other and stay in love as long as you can. But don't do that to that man. Anyways, back to the regular scheduled programs. I'm sorry, that was an interesting dual cameras. I just had to get that out. I'll be like I said, I would be remiss if I didn't do dual cameras for that one in particular. It's just kind of hard to talk about because like we never do this. He's 18, 19 years old. talking about somebody's girlfriend that's also 18, 19 years old, grown people doing so. I just feel really bad. And I really feel bad that it's come to this. Man, I don't know. I just feel like we shouldn't be giving young people, I don't want to say that either, giving young people so much money or the spotlight so fast because it can just backfire so fast. And yeah, he's too young to be going through this shit. He should be focusing. And he has the right intentions. He has all the right intentions as an athlete too. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't party. It just sucks that, he's attached to so much hate. And I mean, I guess some of the shit that I said was kind of hate, but it just looks bad. And I hope that they can fix it. And I hope she really does love him for him. And it's not just a ruse to try to get that money and bounce as soon as he gets that paycheck. But again, they look happy together. She's a nice looking girl. And I hope everything works out for him. You know what I'm saying? No hate at all. No hate at all. Again, there was some hate when he was at Colorado in the Pac-12. But again, him being doing what he is now, again, I'm proud of, the speech choked me up, how he's giving a speech about his family and how his dad wasn't able to be at the, you know what I'm saying? That's not the time for you to be sitting down and not applauding when everybody's giving him a standing ovation. Like, come on. Anyways, let me get off that. Let me get off that. Let me go to something a little bit more positive again. Switch it up. Actually, this ain't positive. Oh yeah, let's do NBA check-in. NBA check-in. Important news. I promise this is the last sports topic that I'm gonna get off this and get into some pop culture and some other shit. But last little NBA check-in. I only talk about the Nuggets. How about that? Actually, I'll talk about the play-in or in-season tournament championship. The Bucks versus the OKC Thunder. OKC Thunder getting exposed a little bit. I'm telling you, man. OKC is a very finesse team. Chet Holmgren had them cool with being a big that can shoot, stretch the floor, and block a lot of shots. Hardenstein is not that. He's a big that can rebound and kind of put back, have put back dunks, get the ball past to the shy, anybody kick it, all that kind of shit. But he ain't no Chet. And you saw that when Giannis was out there bullying everybody, scoring thousands of points in the paint, going to the free throw line, having somebody like Dame to kick it to. You know what I'm saying? I think OKC was missing all their threes. So if their three-point shooting was off and they have no bigs to get out there and just control the paint like Giannis was doing, it was just bad for him. So the Bucks were able to win the tournament. Giannis won MVP, of course. And it's just kind of cool seeing the last two high profile or the last two people win the first two NBA in-season cups being two high profile people that everybody kind of looks at as um, players that are either at the top of their careers or fading out. You know what I'm saying? Not saying Giannis is fading out anytime soon, but if somebody like from Houston or OKC was to win it, maybe and Shy win the MVP. I mean, I guess there still would be a superstar winning it, but having somebody like Giannis and LeBron winning it last year and still having those big faces of the NBA still being able to be the face of these events and put on for the people and for the viewers to watch and still have somebody to recognize being that champion is good. It's good optics, but back to the Nuggets. Fuck those guys. Fuck those other guys. The Nuggets, man, we doing all right. Again, we're in the news right now for the wrong reasons. I mean, rather than us being happy as a cohesive team that won the championship 2 years ago, and lost in the game 7 last year and working on getting what caused us to lose in that game 7 last year, to get better and just fix those mistakes. We're in trade talks right now. MPJ being traded for Zach LaVine or Brandon Ingram or whatever else in the world that can get us some shooting and some defense. MPJ, I don't want to trade him personally. He's, of course, my third favorite player on the team. Kind of inching towards fourth every day after Aaron Gordon as he becomes more of a vetted Nugget. And, of course, he's from the Bay. So he's kind of inching forward in my list of Nuggets that I like. But he's in trade talks now. He's our best trade asset, 6'10" shooter. You guys know how Michael Porter Jr. plays, but he's really hot into trade talks right now with being traded for Zach LaVine, just because Zach LaVine, of course, is in Chicago. Everybody they had there kind of got traded away already. He's kind of like the last person there. Just waiting with high potential, just waiting to go to a contender and try to contribute that way. The Nuggets are connected right now. We're losing to 12 points to the Blazers. So if we lose this game, it's just the trade talk's going to get louder and louder. I do feel kind of bad about it. I like Michael Porter Jr. a lot. He's one of my feel like again one of my favorite players. I like how he plays, but he's just not consistent enough, especially when Jokic isn't in. He can't create his own shots. We pay him, I think it's 100 and something million for the 5 years that he's on this contract for. And he, his potential is there. We see him score 25, 30 points on any given night. But that's only when you have people like Jamal, Jokic, Westbrook in the game being able to facilitate for him. When those people are out and he's in there by himself and should be able to create shots and score by himself, he doesn't do it. Giving us, you know, leaving us wanting more. We need somebody besides Jokic and Jamal that can create and score on their own. And if he can't, it's just kind of it's gonna take more years away from Jokic's prime. He's just getting better now, and I don't know how many years of his prime we actually have left. Who knows how many years of anybody's prime is left? Any injury, knock on wood, can happen at any time. So, what I'm saying, we have to shake something up. We do have a core four, but bringing Zach LaVine on could have a triple option of Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Zach LaVine being able to get 20 plus points at any given moment on any given day. So I feel like that personally would benefit us a lot. We would lose size and maybe lose a little bit on defense because Zach LaVine, I guess, isn't really that good of a defender. But at the same time, we have to do something, man. We can't just keep going the way we're going, losing to bad teams and being good sometimes, and then getting to the playoffs and losing in the first and second round. We need to stack championships. We won our first in 2023. We want to win more. So again, I don't want to trade anybody, but if we have to, and Michael Porter Jr. is our best trade piece, and if it helps with team chemistry, if he wants to go to another team like Chicago, Washington, spread his wings there and be the player that he can be, shoot all he wants to, and have no consequences for it, don't get yelled at by Coach Malone, I guess I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? But man, it's going to be tough to see him go. But if it can help both sides, him be a happier player and us win another championship, I can't help but be happy about it. You know what I'm saying? That's it for sports, but I will warn you, it is going to get kind of sad here for a second. I will try to just touch on it as fast as possible. I haven't really gotten all the details. I didn't really want to go into it that much. Me personally, I'm a person who doesn't really like to talk about these kind of things just for the fact that it could lead to copycats and shit like that I feel like are always created from publicizing this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But anyways, you guys heard about the school shooting in Wisconsin, leaving 3 dead, 7 in the hospital. I think 2 of them were teachers. I think one child might have died. It was a 17-year-old female shooter. Name is being concealed because she was 17-year-old. She was a minor, but she was one of the 7 dead at the scene as well. Me personally, again, I hate reporting on shit like this because there's too many. Why do we keep having to report on shit like this and nothing has been done? Again, I am one of the people is a proponent of treating schools like the airport, metal detectors, all that kind of shit. I mean, sorry, you might have to be checked to get into school, but people are fucking dying there. Children are getting shot there. Teachers are getting shot there. Prayers out to all the families, and you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't even be a conversation anymore. Like, is it gun control? Is it school security? Whether it's one or the other, it should be fixed. Again, school shootings should be the last things that should be happening. Church shootings, grocery store shootings, shit like this should not be happening, period. But children should be safe in their schools. Like, I get it. We've been dilly-dallying around the topic forever and not knowing what to do, not knowing who to blame. But let's put blame aside and put the kids first. Protect the children, protect everybody in these schools, you know? And you want to protect children, put the children first for sure, but also protect the teachers, the ones that are putting time out of their day, put time out of their lives, years of their lives to learn how to teach children, teach your children, to teach other people's children. I know they're making money, but I feel like the knowledge that they're teaching these kids, the lessons that they're bestowing on these kids goes way more than it goes further than the dollar that they're getting paid in a way. You know what I'm saying? So protect all these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's saddening to think that one day when I do have kids that go to school, knowing I have nieces, nephews, friends, children that go to school, and they're not 100% safe. Like, what the fuck? Wisconsin could be here in Antioch. Wisconsin could be here in Sunnyvale. It could be anywhere in the Bay, LA, anywhere. It could be anywhere. It's happening anywhere. The city doesn't matter. The population doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's nuts, man. And I just wish we had a solution to get away from this shit. But now I know we'll hear a bunch of shit in the news. They need to feed the news cycles. I just wish, again, rather than telling us what happened and being ready to put the fucking killer's social media on and past life on blast, let's figure out how the fuck to stop this shit, man. Let's put that on TV rather than fucking stupid ass shit. I get the sympathetic part of it, but they speak like, I don't know. And of course, and I don't want to make it racial, but it always depends on the color of the skin, on the way they want to vilify the shooter. It's either like, oh, the person is a person not of color. What's this person's past life like? Was it mental health issues? This person was a good kid before this happened. Like, what pointed to this happening? Is a person of color, they're the most villainized person. If it's a black person, throw them under the jail. If it's a minority other than black people, send them back to the country they came from. They're like, bro, it's just it's crazy out there. I don't know. And we don't know what it's about. It could be just to distract us from the drones that everybody's talking about in New Jersey that people think are aliens, or are they people telling stories about it's the US looking for nuclear warheads that were stolen using thermo lights at night, flying in certain patterns to try to find the warheads that were stolen. Like, I don't know, man. It's just too much. I do kind of miss the days where social media was limited to what we could access. But then again, before social media, we just were beholden to what we saw on TV, and we just believed everything on TV because that's all we had. It's just kind of a fucked up situation. We never know what's really happening. They can pull the wool over our eyes with a school shooting, and then we'll all forget everything about the drones in a week or two because, you know what I'm saying, we'll think it's aliens for a long time. It's another alien sighting. What are we gonna do about that? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's talking about aliens we see. What are we gonna do about that? Nothing. We're just gonna name another week where we saw aliens, and that's gonna add to the bulletin board of days we saw aliens. Like, bro, let's stop this shit, bro. We have time to report on the next one that we see in a different state, in another country. But can we spend the same amount of effort trying to fix the shit, bro? That's all I got. But yeah, the drone situation was kind of weird. Again, the Gamma whole looking for warheads situation. I got that from the homie. Heard it on Joe Rogan's podcast. I did hear that a little bit on the Joe Budden podcast today. Flip brought that to the table. Yeah, it's research out there saying that people are kind of saying that they're looking for warheads that were stolen from the U.S. or that they lost, and they're using that nuclear looking thermo nuclear scanning through those drones to try to find where those things could be, and they can only do them at nighttime. So they're saying that's why it's usually at night type shit. I don't know. I don't know. Trump says the government knows exactly what's happening. They just don't want us to know. And yeah, with that, we get a whole cycle of stuff that's just, I feel like, thrown at us to distract us. That um, prayers out for the school shooting. That's not a distraction. We should bring attention to that because again, we need to figure out how to stop that. But things like the Jay-Z case, oh, P. Diddy's in jail now. Now we have to try to get P. Diddy, the next richest person out there, or excuse me, Jay-Z, the next richest person out there, has to be doing the nefarious things because he was friends with Jay-Z. I forgot what their attorney's name was. Some weird guy. Let me see if I can find the attorney's name here that was trying to kind of attach Jay-Z to the shit that P. Diddy had going on. Something Busby though. Something fucking Busby. Lawyer. Uh, But anyways, his name's not important. Some lawyer, something Busby. I guess he's some lawyer that's out there that usually tries to squeeze famous people that have a lot of money and threaten cases just so the celebrities will settle and just give them some money and the case won't go to court and they won't have to face any kind of backlash from that. But I kind of feel like that. I don't know, man. A lot of this shit, it's like I don't understand why the richest people in the world can't just stay out of trouble. You know what I mean? Like why, why do they always find themselves in the most cases where people try to string things together? Like a 13-year-old going to what was the MTV Awards that's trying to accuse of P. Diddy and Jay-Z having their way with her and having like sexually assaulting her. And yeah, Jay-Z wasn't having none of that. I know you guys probably heard this. I've been kind of light with the shit that I report sometimes when it comes to real shit because 2 weeks later it comes out that it wasn't real and I look stupid for not doing my due diligence to try to see if the shit that I was actually presenting was real. So I kind of feel bad when I do shit like that sometimes. So yeah, I didn't really do too much presenting on the Jay-Z stuff. I did kind of feel like after the P. Diddy stuff happened, after he went to jail for a little bit, they would just try to throw a whole bunch of more allegations on P. Diddy and just try to connect a whole bunch of people because everybody wants to know who was at those Diddy parties. So they were really jabbing at Jay-Z and Beyonce for a while. So I thought it was only a matter of time before they put something together. I've seen a whole bunch of fake videos. I've seen a whole bunch of documents saying that Jay-Z and Beyonce were in a lot of the videos. So this Busby guy saying this 13-year-old had something to do with Jay-Z and being sexually assaulted. Yeah, I can see how that money grab could come about. The 13-year-old said that her dad went and picked her up from an after party from the MTV Music Awards where she was at with Jay-Z and P. Diddy. And supposedly the girl lived 5 hours from the event. So supposedly her dad drove 5 hours to get her from a after party where she wasn't supposed to be at 13 years old, and her dad says he doesn't recollect doing that. And driving 5 hours to pick up his daughter and driving back home 5 hours, a 10-hour drive. I think that's something that you would probably remember, but Jay-Z did put out a statement saying that this lawyer was crooked and he tries to press pretty much celebrities for money and he's not going to give them any red cents and he's going to be countersuing. And he was like, okay, yeah, if you want to try to take it to court, take it to civil court and we can try to settle it there. But I know you won't do that. You're just trying to press me so I can settle and try to give you money, but you ain't touching none of my money. I'm Jay-Z type shit. And they're going to try to clean his name up and make sure his name is clean and nowhere near this situation, understandably so. But as more stuff comes out, you will hear more about it. But this is why I'm kind of late on it because it is kind of shaky, and I feel like we're never going to actually really hear exactly what happened. I just feel like it's going to get cleared up. If people get money for it, we're not going to know about it. So, hey, I just thought I'm not going to be one of those people that kind of hide from the topic with fear of anything coming down because it's just the Best of Bias podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's just the family here. Higher powers that be. I guess I'm not saying anything bad, so they won't blackball me. But yeah, crazy world we live in, man. People using their powers for evil, man. You go to school for 8 years to become a lawyer, and you're willing to put your license on the line trying to go at Jay-Z. That is nuts. But prayers out to everybody involved. And let's get into some cinema corner before we get up out of here. Oh no, actually, we're still in pop culture gaming. Hope everybody is following me on Twitch right now. We're on the road to 50 followers, man. I don't know, man, how many I have right now. I think I have like 15. Struggling with the followers stuff, man. Take your time to go to Twitch if you guys have Twitch. Follow your boy Lydell_Dinero. I'll be playing all kinds of games, but right now I'm into that Marvel Rivals. Hope everybody's playing. Great game. It's very similar to Apex. I haven't played Apex since it first came out, so I don't know how similar it is for real. But I'm hearing everybody saying it has so many similarities to it. But hey, it's the game that I'm playing right now on top of Call of Duty here and there. That Omni movement and then COD 6 shit is kind of crazy for me. But Marvel Rivals, again, it's like I think it's 5v5 or 6v6, kind of like Apex for sure, but you could pick one of 33 Marvel characters with all different power sets to be, and it's amazing. I rock with Hawkeye and Hela personally, but they have all kinds of characters, 3 different categories: Vanguards, Support, Duelists, and each one has a different set of powers and a different responsibility during the game. And it's like 5v5 or 6v6 online, different game modes. It's pretty dope, man. I think it's like 200 million people started and are playing right now, and it just came out maybe like 2 weeks ago. So it's the business right now. I'd be doing a lot streaming online, Twitch, with rivals. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get a team together so we can go out there and rock out. I think it is only for PS5 and PC or next gen Xbox. Um, but yeah, check it out. Hopefully you guys could hop in the game with me, follow me one time. I'm trying to actually become a bigger streamer on Twitch, you know what I'm saying? I need that 50 followers firstly. And if you are online and while I'm playing, get on there and give me a little comment because I do need 5 unique comments at one time. 5 people giving unique comments at one time for another one of my landmarks to become a Twitch streamer. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to diversify the podcast. If you guys are into games, anything you want to play, man. Marvel Rivals. I have college football, Tekken, Spark Zero. 2K, anything anybody wants to play, holla at me. What do you guys want to see? Just let me know. I'll throw it on the stream, play it for you guys. And if you guys want to chat, hop in there. We can, chop it up face to face. You feel me? We can do a little something. If you're trying to join the gaming team, we have a gaming team that's starting, Best of Bias Gaming. Got a couple people down right now, just trying to grow the team bigger and bigger. Whatever game you play, hop on, join the streaming team, and we can get it going, bro. We trying to get more and more shit going. We're not just trying to stay podcast. We trying to do more and more shit, like I like to say all the time. So, Marvel Rivals, get it. Lydell underscore Dinero on Twitch. Hit me up. Any questions? Just let me know, man. Road to 50. Let's get it. Sony giving up on Marvel projects. This is interesting to me. Just because all the bad Marvel movies that Sony is putting out, they're trying to do the Sinister Six. What is it? Morbius, Madam Web, Venom, now Craven. All these movies have been getting really bad reviews. I mean, I know standing up to Marvel is kind of hard to do. Marvel and the MCU is just doing such a great job of pulling on our heartstrings, keeping us loving it. The action is good, diversifying the character is amazing. But we all know Sony owns Spider-Man, and they're licensing it out to the MCU. So they still are able to use Spider-Man for their own movies. Lately, they've been doing all the villains and stuff and trying to have spin-offs based on that, just to gain, get some more movies going, get some more money in their pocket, and use Spider-Man to just kind of net more money. Their Spider-Man movies haven't been the best. I know the Amazing Spider-Mans have not been everybody's favorite. But Andrew Garfield has been one of the better Spider-Mans, in my opinion, just from his humor and just how he kind of gets down as a character. But all the villain movies they've been doing bad, terrible in the box office. I think Craven has done the worst, surprisingly, because Madam Web was terrible, Morbius was not good at all. So Craven, the one that just came out the most recent, just doing so bad is just kind of crazy to hear. They said they are falling back from. I hope they're still doing. Well, I think they're falling back from doing Sinister Six and the Spider-Man Rose Gallery of Villains, the kind of like solo movies, especially since they have no connections to Spider-Man, which is the stupidest shit they're doing in the world. But they are going to continue to do Spider-Man movies, and they're going to do more so focus on Spider-Man Noir with Nicolas Cage and little side things like that, rather than focus more so on their Spider-Man shit or the Spider-Man Rose Gallery shit, because they've been losing a lot of money. I mean, ultimately, with the budget they've been given to do those movies, they did make some money, but individually, as these movies are dropping, they're not making any money at all. So Sony, leave Marvel alone. You should just ultimately just sell Spider-Man back to MCU for a lot of money and just cut your losses and focus on something else, because they're always going to compare the two. And with Spider-Man 4 coming out, and then just moving into just the new Avengers movies, they're going to forget about those other Sony Spider-Man movies a lot and just kind of move over to MCU anyway. So you might as well just sell. That's just all I'm saying. Already did the anime check-in. If you guys are looking for something to watch, I'm moving in the cinema corner now, just trotting along right in the cinema corner. Paramount Plus has some shows for you. Landman, Lioness. I don't know if you guys been watching these. The Agency, 3 shows that are out right now. Lioness is in season 2. Landman is brand new. Billy Bob Thornton, John Hamm. It's about the oil industry and just shit that people do to get the oil out of the ground to provide to these industries. People making all this money off the oil industry, but this kind of gives you an insight on how you secure the land, what it takes to get the oil, all the problems that come with securing that land and getting the oil and being the guys that get the oil for big companies. It's just crazy. Billy Bob Thornton always does this thing. His personality, it always breaks through in movies. He's always himself in movies too. Him and The Rock, bro, I feel like are always themselves. But Billy Bob can talk that shit, and he kind of carries the show along with that. Crazy shit happens. I'll let you guys watch it before I review it too much. There's about 5 episodes out now. I just watched it all in a binge, so I feel like I'd be remiss if I was to review it all right now. But go check it out. I highly recommend it. People have been telling me to watch it, and just what I've been so far, they're correct. It kind of gives me vibes. If you guys watch The Mayor of Kingstown, like I told you guys to watch a while ago, seasons 1 and 2 of that, it gives those vibes with the character that Billy Bob is playing. Just a guy that's kind of keeping everything in check, is kind of untouchable when shit goes wrong when it comes to the oil game. He's just the shit. He's the man, and he runs shit like Jeremy Renner does in the Mayor of Kingstown. But check that out. I've been always talking about Lioness. It's interesting, man. Season 2, I think, wasn't as good as season 1. But Zoe Saldana's doing her thing. She's badass, and just knowing that there's little agencies like that that could be in the government, just going in there, handling shit, and the shit that happened, especially the last episode of the season, epic as fuck. You should definitely check it out. Paramount Plus is doing their thing right now. Carry On, Netflix. I know you guys just saw that come out. Jason Bateman, Egerton. I forgot his first name. Oh, that's my guy though. Cool movie. You guys should check it out. It's an airport version of Phone Booth. It's not the best movie in the world, but it's watchable. Something to watch over the holidays. It's a Christmas movie, so you can sit there and watch it with your family, significant other. You know, it's a good movie. The car scene, the car fight scene goes crazy. Once you see it, you'll know what you're seeing. You know what I'm talking about. But there's some plot holes and some weird shit. Excuse me. Wasn't the best Jason Bateman movie. It seems like one of those movies that you could have possibly produced on or something like that. So it wasn't the best written, but just the fact that Jason Bateman was involved in it, that he produced in it, not saying that he did, but it's that type of movie that you give it grace for that. But it was cool, man. I try to make my predictions. I like to call myself a movie aficionado, so I try to make predictions in the beginning of the movies when I see shit that I think I already know is going to happen towards the end. I probably should stop doing that. People probably hate when I do that, especially my girl, but I guessed wrong. I can't say that that happened. I guessed wrong in there. It kind of threw me for a loop for a little bit, but cool little Christmas movie. Check it out. Not very realistic, but again, stop giving people ideas on how to do shit in airports and shit like that, commit crimes that could actually happen in real life, that people actually know how to do in real life. Let's just stay away from things like that, because I travel on airplanes a lot, and I don't want to be paranoid or have to worry about shit like that. But check out Carry On. It's on Netflix right now. What else we got? And Skeleton Crew, check it. Oh, Silo season 2 on Apple TV Plus. I forgot to talk about that a little bit. Season 1 was epic. I watched that so long ago when I first got Apple TV Plus that I was like, fuck, man, when is the season 2 gonna come out? When is the show gonna continue? Like, Common's doing this thing in the show. It had such a great concept, but didn't know when it was going to return. So it recently just came back on Apple TV Plus. Comes on Fridays. I think we're episode 4 now of season 2. Just got picked up for a third and fourth season already. So, Apple TV Plus has a bunch of shows on there too. If you don't have Apple TV Plus yet, I said that like hella times. It's not a sponsorship. I'm not sponsored by them, but Apple TV, hey, hit me up. I can sponsor. I can be your sponsor. Don't even worry about yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. But it has a bunch of shows on there. Severance is about to come back, another show that came out a while ago that stopped for a while and is going to come back based off of probably binge popularity. A lot of these shows that were binged when the show was off, it probably, got it greenlit for more seasons. So I'm happy to see that. And then lastly, Skeleton Crew. Let me talk about that before I get you guys out of here. Um, I don't know, man. It started off good, but more and more I get into it, I don't know. I feel like we may have another acolyte on our hands. I mean, I get it. I just don't really like going on different adventures every episode. Ad Atten, I call it Dan Durin last time. I do apologize for that. That's where the Mandalorians, I think, are from. But Ad Atten, whatever it is, man, it is what they're trying to get back to, and it's the basis of the show. I just don't want to adventure every episode. Let's just really see what Ad Adden's about. Let's see if they're able to get back home. It looks like they hyper speed jumped in so much into the future, their planet might not exist anymore. So I don't know if they're going to get back. How you guys liking the show so far? Is it too kitted out for you? Is it too, I don't know. This last episode with the kid soldiers and all that shit, like, uh, I don't know if I like it. Jude Law, he hasn't used any of his Jedi powers. I know Jedis are kind of overblown in these series, so they're trying to kind of stay away from that to kind of give it a new kind of spice, but I'm not really sure if I like it that much yet. I'm still feeling it out, man. I was probably trying to do an episodic review for it, but I don't think it's worthy of that quite yet. I think I'm gonna wait till I see the finale and just give you my overall feelings of it as it comes out. What do you guys think? You guys want me to keep doing episodic reviews of Skeleton Crew, or should I just give you guys the how I feel after it's over? You guys let me know, and I'll think about it, man. Because the last two episodes didn't really have much for me to grasp onto to be like, oh, that was hella sick. The first two episodes were kind of cool, just seeing where they're going to take it, the practical effects, and just seeing them, the kids interact with the world, and just kind of like seeing middle class ad-atting in Star Wars. But now we're out of that, and we're back to the old stuff, and I'm just trying to kind of like see where this is headed. So, kind of tiptoeing through that. And lastly, before I get out of here, I want to talk about that Spider or Superman trailer. James Gunn's coming out with his shit. It dropped today. The Superman trailer. We got to see what Superman will look like, some of the other heroes, Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl. Yeah, it looked pretty sick, man. James Gunn, I feel like he's gonna do his thing here. It kind of looked like the Superman looked different than he usually does. I liked how they juxtaposed, like how he looks as Clark Kent and how he looks as Superman, the hair different and shit like that. Crypto the super dog saving him after he was beat up was cool. I don't know how I feel about Lex Luthor. Why they like why can't they ever get Lex Luthor to look like the Justice League cartoon? Like that would be perfect. They always try to get somebody super skinny, like it looks like Green Goblin and Lex Luthor, they can never get right. I don't understand that. But it looks like it's going to be cool. I like the outfit. I like how they gave him shorts instead of little spandex with the little blue draws. They actually look like red shorts over the blue tights. So it may look kind of funny at first, but I think I'll be able to get used to it. Um, but yeah, how you guys feel about the trailer? I'm excited to see what they do with it. There's a lot of heroes, a lot of side heroes. I know they say that James Gunn always does the uh ensemble casts and kind of have hella characters as a ragtag team and them go through shit and have shit going and always have the sentient animals that can talk and shit in all his movies. But I'm down for it if it works, man. It worked in the Suicide Squad. It worked in um what was the one? Peacemaker. It worked with Guardians of the Galaxy. So I have faith in him, and I'm fucking with James Gunn and his vision for this shit. So I'm sure if this goes off without a hitch, we can expect great things from the DCU going forward. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I know I kept you guys here for a while. Try to speed through the topics so you guys can have a good rest of your day, but also hear everything I got to say. This is where I like to let them know where you can find your boy at. It's SH_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. For the podcast side, it was Best of Bias Podcast on Instagram, Best of Bias Podcast on TikTok while they still have it. I haven't posted a lot on TikTok. I'm waiting to see how the ban goes, see if they're going to ban it on January 19th. It's not like that I post there hella anyways. To be 100% honest, I don't. To be 100% honest, I'd be bullshitting on TikTok. But I do need to reach out because I know a lot of people fuck with TikTok, and that's how people can learn about the pod a lot more. But YouTube, of course, Best of Bias there, aka thank you for all the videos, 200 plus videos, working hard every week to get these pods out when I do record. So thank you for working so hard and fucking with me, family. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. I say that every pod, and I will not stop saying it because without you, I would be trying to do all this shit by myself, and I would not be able to be here every week talking to the people. So merch is holiday season. If you want something, hit me up. Hats, beanies, dad hats, bucket hats. You know what I'm saying? I got it all. Hit me up if you're trying to be on the pod. Of course, again, follow me, Lydell_Dinero on Twitch. We're trying to get to that 50. Hit me up, hit me up, hit me up. Chelsea's gonna be on soon. Johnny Mac's gonna be back on soon to talk about fantasy football. I'm gonna get AKA on here soon to talk about anime. We're going to DreamCon, me and Deshaun. So you're probably gonna talk about that coming up soon. If you guys want to go to that, I don't know. I think tickets may be sold out to RDC World One's event. But if you're in town, if you're in Houston, maybe somebody's selling something. Maybe they'll sell some more at the doors. I mean, maybe they just sold pre-sales and those are sold out. So who knows? He said it's a venue for 200,000 people now. So fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? Best of Bias Podcast. We're trying to get bigger and better. We're trying to expand. We're trying to grow. It's not just a podcast. We're merch gang. We a media company, comic book story writers. If you got any of that, any ideas, anything you want to talk about, be a part of the team, hit me up because we're just expanding. We're just growing year after year. We making shit pop. It's the Best of Bias Podcast. Hey, wherever you're going today, get there safely. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your day, whatever day it is. Enjoy that shit. From your boy, Lydell Dinero. Where that theme song at? It's right here. All right, then, y'all. Late.
It's the best of Bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of Bias. The best of Bias. Yeah, it's the best of Bias.
On this episode of the Best of Bias podcast, your boy is back. A gap in between, yada, yada, yada. I know.